Yeah, and it actually ties nicely to what you mentioned about paying more attention to customer and user experience. Google dropped mobile friendly, page speed, secure site, and page experience as retired ranking systems. And that might sound counterintuitive to user and customer experience, but kind of conversely, they want websites and businesses to think about those metrics holistically. So you don't want to just only optimize your site for mobile. It's really thinking as the thinking of the user experience as a big kind of pie in the sky. How can you present the information on your site in the best way and easily make it easily digestible for every user on your site?
Okay. Sarah, anything to add in there?
Maybe not so much about that, but on the topic of SEO, I think one thing that we as Stream focus heavily on is local SEO. And we're just seeing that become more and more prevalent in search. So, we're seeing more people doing near me or nearby type searches or any type of searches on mobile that are focused on certain locations. So we're seeing some massive increases in those types of searches just across the web. So I think it really, again, kind of bringing it back to the beginning of this conversation, it's a quality over quantity. We want to get people who are getting ready to go somewhere. They're getting ready to purchase something. We want to get someone who is in a company's backyard. Of course, local is different for a national client, so we tailor those differently, but local is just such an important part to SEO and becoming more and more important in our strategies.
Yeah, and I think it's really important to think of SEO not necessarily just ranking for ranking's sake. You need to consider the business goals and how is SEO driving revenue, and not just saying, hey, we're getting a lot of organic traffic, we're ranking on page one. How is that actually driving business? And are you getting the right customers on your site when they're searching to make a purchase?
I'm really glad you said that. Go ahead.
Sorry, Subi. I was going to say one example that I have used just recently actually is for one of my auto clients. So with this client, I could say, hey, I'm going to build you a piece of content that says how to replace a Ford F-150 key fob battery. Great. How's that going to make you money? It's someone who's looking for a quick tutorial. That's something that can make I don't know, what's the cost of a battery? $10 for a fob. So, it's not something that we would want to focus a lot of attention on. It's going to drive a ton of traffic to your site, but how's it going to drive sales? So, in that situation, I like to say, okay, well, let's think locally. Like, what's your backyard? Where's an area that we're hurting right now that we can kind of focus more of that strategy around based on more local search volume for that quality over quantity?
I'm really glad that both of you have kind of spent a little bit of time on this. I think from my background is in automotive, and I'm glad that you gave an automotive example.
So
yeah.
I had to.
I think when people think about organic traffic, the last thing they do is to tie it to their revenue goals. And you saying that out loud, Drew, really made it very clear to me that that is something that people are afraid, or not even just afraid, but they overlook a lot of times, to tie in their actual business goals and targets with organic. I think a lot of times we might be stuck a little bit in the past in how attribution and return on ad spend haven't been as easy to calculate, but it's so much easier now. There's so many different mechanisms that allow us to have that kind of visibility, that we absolutely should be tactical in our approach with SEO and not just look to rank for things that are completely unrelated to us, and do it with thoughtfulness. So I really like that example that you provided. Yes, I can get you a lot of traffic, but is it really going to help your business, or is it going to distract?